It feels like AI is everywhere these days, right?
Yeah, totally.
Like it's taking over the world. You see it in the news constantly.
For sure.
Every day there's like a new headline about some mind-blowing AI doing something incredible,
Yeah.
or maybe even something a little unsettling. It's a lot to keep up with. We get it. But instead of just getting swept up in all the hype,
Yeah.
today we're going to do a deep dive.
Okay.
Just for you. We're going to cut through all that noise and explore what generative AI really means, especially the stuff that's changing the game right now.
Awesome.
Okay, so you sent in this super interesting article. It's from the DX Today blog. It's called Unleashing the Power of Generative AI, Ethical Considerations for the Future. And get this, it was published just today, December 19th, 2024. Talk about being on the cutting edge, right?
Wow. Yeah, that's hot off the press.
So this article really nails what generative AI is all about. And forget all the technical jargon about neural networks, okay? We're talking about AI that can create stuff, like images, videos, even text. That is practically indistinguishable from what humans can produce.
Wow.
It can write a song, design a building, even create a whole movie. I mean, the potential is just wow.
Yeah, it's pretty mind-blowing.
But with all this power comes some pretty big questions. And that's where our expert comes in. They're amazing at making even the most complicated topics understandable.
Well, I try.
So here's the million-dollar question. We know generative AI is incredibly powerful, but how is it already changing things? What are some real-world examples we can actually see?
Well, it's not just potential anymore. It's definitely happening now. And one area that's already seeing massive change is the creative industry. Think about advertising. Companies are using generative AI to create personalized ads that are tailored to your specific interests and demographics. It's like having an army of marketers working 24/7 to figure out exactly what will make you click.
That's kind of creepy.
Yeah.
But also kind of amazing. So it's not just creating content. It's actually starting to make decisions about what we see and experience online.
Exactly. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. Think about architecture. Generative AI is being used to design buildings that are more energy efficient, more sustainable, and even aesthetically pleasing. It can analyze factors like sunlight, wind patterns, and building materials to create designs that would be impossible for humans to conceive on their own.
Okay, that's pretty cool. But I bet there are some architects out there who are feeling a little nervous about a robot stealing their jobs.
Oh yeah, there's definitely a lot of debate about the impact of AI on the workforce. But it's not just about replacing jobs. It's also about creating new ones. Think about all the people who will be needed to develop, maintain, and regulate these AI systems. We're talking about a whole new industry emerging.
So it's not necessarily a human versus machines situation. It's more about figuring out how humans and AI can work together.
Right. It's about finding the right balance. Generative AI can automate certain tasks, but it can also augment human capabilities, allowing us to do things we never thought possible.
So the article mentions a lot of ethical concerns, too. Is that something we're already seeing play out, or is that more of a future problem?
Oh, it's definitely both. We're already seeing examples of AI being used in ways that raise ethical questions. Take deepfakes, for instance. That's where generative AI is used to create incredibly realistic videos of people saying or doing things they never actually said or
Oh,
done.
I've seen those. They're seriously freaky. It's getting harder and harder to tell what's real and what's fake online.
Exactly. And that has huge implications for things like trust misinformation and even political manipulation.
So how do we even begin to address those kinds of issues? It feels like technology is always one step ahead of the regulations.
Yeah, it's a constant game of catch-up. But I think the first step is acknowledging the problem. We need to be having open and honest conversations about the potential risks of generative AI. And we need to start developing ethical guidelines and regulations that can keep pace with the technology.
That makes sense. But how do we balance that with the need for innovation? We don't want to stifle progress, but we also don't want to unleash a technology that could spiral out of control.
Yeah, it's a delicate balance, but I think it's possible to foster innovation while also being responsible. It's about having the right safeguards in place, and it's about making sure that ethical considerations are baked into the development process from the very beginning.
So it sounds like the key is to be proactive rather than reactive. We need to think about the potential consequences of this technology before it's too late.
Absolutely. We can't just sit back and wait for the problems to arise. We need to be thinking about the long-term implications of generative AI. And we need to be taking steps now to ensure that it's used for good.
Okay, I'm starting to see the bigger picture here. Generative AI is incredibly powerful. It's already changing the world in some pretty significant ways. And it comes with a whole host of ethical challenges that we need to address head on.
Uh-huh.
But the article also talks about some pretty amazing potential benefits, like using AI to develop new medical treatments or solve climate change. That's what we're going to explore next. Stay with us as we continue our deep dive into the world of generative AI.
It's true, the potential benefits are immense. Imagine like a world where AI can help us personalize education, accelerate scientific discovery, even tackle global challenges like climate change and poverty.
I mean, it sounds like something straight out of a sci-fi movie. But is that realistic? Can AI really solve problems that humans have been struggling with for centuries?
Well, it's not about AI magically solving everything overnight. It's about it giving us like new tools and insights that can help us approach these problems in more effective ways.
Okay, I like that. It's not about replacing human ingenuity, it's about amplifying it. But let's get specific. What are some tangible examples of how generative AI could be used for good?
Well, one area that's really exciting is drug discovery. Developing new drugs is a notoriously long and expensive process, but AI is already starting to accelerate that process. Generative AI can analyze massive data sets of molecules and predict which ones are most likely to be effective against specific diseases. It's like having a super-powered lab assistant, working 24/7 to identify potential cures.
Wow, that's incredible. So instead of spending years and millions of dollars on trial and error, we could potentially develop life-saving drugs much faster and more efficiently.
Exactly. And that's just one example. Think about personalized education. AI can analyze a student's learning style strengths and weaknesses to create customized lesson plans and learning experiences.
So instead of a one-size-fits-all approach to education, every student could have a learning experience tailored to their unique needs. That could be a game changer, especially for students who struggle in traditional classroom settings.
Absolutely. And let's not forget about sustainability. Generative AI can be used to design more energy-efficient buildings, optimize transportation systems, and even develop new materials that are more environmentally friendly.
So it's not just about solving individual problems, it's about addressing systemic challenges that affect the entire planet.
Exactly. It's about using technology to create a better future for everyone.
Okay. I'm definitely getting more optimistic about the potential here. But I still have some concerns about the ethical stuff we were talking about earlier. How do we ensure that all this amazing potential isn't overshadowed by unintended consequences?
That's the million-dollar question. It's not enough to just focus on the positive potential of AI. We need to be equally vigilant about addressing the potential risks. It's like driving a powerful car. You need to be aware of the potential dangers and take steps to mitigate them.
So what are some specific things we can do to steer generative AI in a positive direction?
Well, it's a multifaceted approach. We need to invest in research and development that prioritizes ethical considerations. We need to establish clear guidelines and regulations that govern the development and use of AI. And we need to foster a culture of responsible innovation within the tech industry.
It sounds like it's going to take a collective effort. It's not just up to the developers, it's up to policymakers, educators, and even everyday citizens to be aware of these issues and to demand that AI is developed and used ethically.
Exactly. It's about creating a shared understanding of the potential benefits and risks of AI and working together to ensure that this technology is used for the betterment of humanity.
That makes a lot of sense, but it's hard not to feel a little overwhelmed by all of this. It's such a complex issue with so many different facets. Where do we even begin?
Start by getting informed. Read articles, listen to podcasts, talk to experts, and educate yourself about the potential of generative AI and the ethical challenges we face.
So knowledge is power, as they say. But what about beyond individual education? What can we do collectively to shape the future of AI?
Well, one of the most important things we can do is to support organizations that are working to promote responsible AI development. There are a lot of great nonprofits and research groups out there that are focused on issues like algorithmic bias, data privacy, and AI safety.
So we can put our money where our mouth is and support the people who are already working on solutions.
Exactly. And we can also engage with policymakers to advocate for regulations that prioritize ethical considerations. We need to make sure that the development of AI is guided by a strong ethical framework.
So it's not just about sitting back and hoping for the best. It's about taking an active role in shaping the future of AI.
Exactly. The future of AI is not predetermined. It's up to all of us to decide what kind of future we want to create.
I like that. It's empowering to think that we have a say in how this technology evolves.
We absolutely do. And the more people who understand that, the better off we'll all be.
Okay, so we've talked about the potential benefits of generative AI, the ethical challenges we need to address, and the importance of taking an active role in shaping its development. But there's one more thing I want to dig into before we wrap up. The potential impact of AI on the workforce. This is something that a lot of people are worried about, and rightfully so. So let's explore the anxieties and maybe even some unexpected opportunities that generative AI brings to the job market. Stay tuned for the final part of our deep dive. All right, so let's talk about the elephant in the room. AI and jobs. It's on everyone's mind, right? Like, will robots take over the world?
Right.
Will we all be out of work?
Yeah.
I mean, it's a big question.
For sure.
So what's the realistic outlook here? Are we all doomed?
Well, not necessarily. I mean, history shows us that technological advancements often lead to shifts in the job market, not outright job elimination. Think about the Industrial Revolution. It brought massive changes, but it also created entirely new industries and job categories.
Okay, so instead of thinking about robots replacing humans, maybe it's more about humans adapting to work alongside AI.
Exactly. The key is to focus on skills that are uniquely human, like critical thinking, creativity, emotional intelligence, complex problem solving. These are areas where AI still struggles.
That's true. So even with like amazing AI, we still need humans to interpret the data, make ethical decisions, and navigate the complexities of the real world.
Right.
But how do we prepare for this shift? Like, what can people do to stay relevant in an AI-driven job market?
Well, lifelong learning is more crucial than ever. We need to be constantly upskilling and adapting to new technologies. The good news is that there are tons of resources available, like online courses, boot camps, professional development programs. It's about being proactive and embracing a growth mindset.
So it's not about just learning one skill and sticking with it for life. It's about being adaptable and willing to learn new things throughout our careers.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so we've talked about jobs being displaced, but what about new opportunities? What kind of jobs will AI actually create?
Well, that's where things get really interesting. We're already seeing a surge in demand for AI specialists, like data scientists, machine learning engineers, AI ethicists. But the ripple effects go far beyond the tech industry.
Okay, give us some examples, like what kind of unexpected jobs might emerge?
Well, think about AI trainers. These are people who will teach AI systems how to perform specific tasks, curate data sets, and ensure ethical decision-making. We'll also need AI explainers, folks who can translate complex AI concepts into language that non-technical people can understand.
Interesting. So it's almost like AI will create a need for human translators, both in terms of teaching AI and helping humans understand AI.
Right.
That's pretty fascinating.
And it goes even further. Think about AI auditors, like professionals who will ensure that AI systems are functioning fairly transparently and responsibly, or AI storytellers, creative individuals who can leverage AI tools to craft compelling narratives and experiences.
Wow, those are some serially cool job titles. It sounds like AI won't just change what we do, but also how we do it. It's like a whole new way of working and thinking.
Absolutely. It's a paradigm shift. And the most exciting thing is that we're just at the beginning. We can't even imagine all the possibilities that generative AI will unlock in the years to come.
Okay, so maybe instead of fearing AI, we should be embracing it as a powerful tool that can help us solve problems, create new opportunities, and even push the boundaries of human creativity.
Yeah, I think that's a healthy perspective. It's not about blindly trusting AI or letting it control our lives. It's about using it thoughtfully, ethically, and with a clear understanding of its potential and its limitations.
That is a perfect note to end on. This deep dive has been a wild ride. We've covered so much ground. From the mind-blowing potential of generative AI to the very real ethical concerns, and even the impact on the future of work. But most importantly, I think we've learned that the future of AI is not predetermined. It's up to all of us to shape it. So let's stay informed, stay engaged, and keep asking those tough questions. Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive. We'll see you next time. Ready to explore another fascinating topic.